Hello parents, teachers, and lifelong learners. I hope you're having an insightful time so far in second Playhouse Academy Day. Have you ever seen a child throwing tantrums in a public place or asking for something by kicking their hands and feet in a supermarket and screaming out loud? What were you thinking? Hi, my name is Ms.Helen. I am a teacher and my students usually call me Ms. Helen. I acquired my bachelor's degree back in 2011, majoring in English primary education, and I have been teaching ever since. So the topic that I presented was tools to help your child develop self-regulation skills. In order to describe that, I would like to talk about what does self-regulation means, why is it important, and how can we help our child develop the skills. Let's get started. According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, self-regulation is an act of self-control or supervision from within rather than external authority. In preparing for this video, I came across a lot of good researchers that have their materials online, such as this doctor called Dr. Ross Thompson. He conducted an amazing webinar and it details what is self-regulation, how is it developed in the brain, and how to support a child develop it. I've also come across another doctor called Dr. Anne-Louise Lockhart, where she explains the importance of co-regulation before expecting a child to self-regulate, and a Yale University strategies that helps us adult to identify and regulate a child's behavior using the term ruler. Now, those are the three sources that I will be using in this video, and I will link everything in either the description or within this video itself. Okay, so I will start with my first source, which is Dr. Ross Thompson. He defined self-regulation as the ability to internally manage one's attention, thinking, emotions, and behavior without external control. And he shared that self-regulation is heavily based on the development of cognitive processes, which enables self-controlled, goal-directed thought and behavior called executive functions. Now, he then explains that this executive function is located in our prefrontal cortex. As any body parts, our brain also develop according to our age. This is why we need to have empathy when seeing a child throwing tantrums. Simply put, they're not developed enough to know how to behave. Now, my second resource is Dr. Anne-Louise Lockhart, and she advocates for co-regulation. What is co-regulation? So from watching her video and studying further on her research, she emphasized the importance of modeling by the parents or adult. Yeah, so adult here can mean caregiver, teacher, obviously parents, grandparents even. So she is an advocate to say it starts with us. It begins with us adults. If we want a self-regulated child, we need to be self-regulated ourselves. Yeah. So the third resource that I come across was the Yale University strategy called RULER. Yeah, it's an acronym called RULER. So the R stands for recognizing, which means we recognize first that the child is upset, if a child is upset. And then secondly, we understanding. We understand, oh, I hear you. Oh, I see that you're upset, yeah? And the third one is labeling. We label the behavior so the child understands, oh, what they are feeling or what they are what is happening to them right now is valid. For example, oh, I see that you are upset. I see that you are disappointed. I see that you are angry, and so on. And the fourth, an E, is expressing, which shows that how they express themselves is okay, is normal. And then lastly, R, regulating, which means we create distraction or create a discussion that helps the child regulate. Now, this is more likely geared towards toddler. However, I think the principles of this ruler we can use for ourselves as well. Let me dive deeper into all the strategies. The first one, co-regulation. If a child throws tantrum, instead of yelling back at them or trying to say, oh, you're embarrassing me in front of all these strangers, we can use this strategy to help calm ourselves first, to model to our child how to communicate better. So use calm and firm voice. For example, when your voice sounds more like mine, then we can talk. Create expectation that is developmentally appropriate. So you won't expect your 3-year-old to talk clearly already or not cry anymore. They will still cry. However, you can regulate them during that tantrum. Guide children with do and not don't. For example, walk properly, please. Walk in the hallway. Bring your own bag, or clean up after yourself, instead of don't run, don't climb, don't take this, don't do that. So do's reflects more positively in everyone, really. If you are using do statement instead of don't statement, you are helping the child to know what to do, right? If you say don't do this, don't do that, then what should I do? Yeah, so it's very important to use positive statements or do statements. Now, the third one is enable children to anticipate transition. For example, like using the visual schedule or warning them with what's gonna happen next. For example, if you're gonna go for a trip to out of town, you will help them to manage expectation or anticipation. For example, mommy's gonna go to out of town for a meeting and you're gonna be with your grandma or any family members at home. So please help your grandma to be kind to her, listen to her, and so on. That way, you are discussing with all the, for example, if they are upset for you being away, you can deal with that not during the time you were away, but before. Yeah, so like preparing yourself and your child. And then help children use words to regulate their action and thinking. Like I said when I was talking to the boy, what can I do to help you? Use your words to tell me what can I do to help you. All right. Next, predictable but flexible daily schedule. So the visual schedule is not meant to tie the child in place. It's meant to help them manage their expectation. Yeah, sometimes you have to teach them flexibility, but structure is important for them to feel safe. So if there are routine in place and then there's something different happen, then it can be a teachable moment and say, sometimes things doesn't happen according to our plan, and this is how we deal with it. Yeah, this is how we manage our heart and feeling. Yeah. And then the next one is give some options for the children to self-regulation. Some people use quiet corner, thinking chair, but now it's more derogatively thought as timeout. But actually, if we want to use a different kind of method, for example, would you like to lay down for a little bit? Would you like to close your eyes for a little bit until you can calm yourself down? Would you like to go and cuddle with your stuffed toy for a little bit to help you calm down? Yeah, so give them tools, not necessarily, oh, you have to go to a thinking chair or you have to go to a quiet corner, but more like, let's calm down first. Let's give it time to for our feeling to subside. And then this, I've been talking about this several times, model emotional self-control. Yeah. So when we react to a situation, children see and children absorb, and what they absorb is what we teach, actually. So I hear sometimes where especially the people that I've encountered with, they say, who taught you that? Nobody taught you that. But actually, we teach the children through our actions, our feelings, our energy, everything, every piece of our being is teaching the child, because a child is like a sponge. They absorb everything. Whether or not they express it is another case, but they absorb what they see and hear, because that is how they learn in their age. And lastly, recognize individual differences in self-regulation. Like I said, not one. It's not one fits all. It's interchangeably used. You can use the ruler strategy. You can use the deep breathing SOS strategy. You can use the visual schedule, but use something to help your child self-regulate. And that way, we develop empathy ourselves towards our child, instead of just calling them naughty or not listening and so on. So I hope you have gained something from the video, and I would love if you would like to ask me further. I am excited to research about this topic, and I would be glad to take your questions. I will do my best to find the answer. I don't know everything. I'm also a learner just like you. Thank you for watching, and have a blessed day.